Good morning, everyone. My name is Adam Livingston, and I am the Bitcoin Wizard. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel because I bring daily Bitcoin insights and I am spreading the orange gospel to the masses. Like this video to help the algorithm, and remember, Daddy loves you. Now listen up, because America's economy is now the creepy free candy van of global finance. You see it rolling down the street with spray-painted promises of prosperity, but you know the second you climb inside, you're waking up in a basement next to a bowl of expired Halloween Smarties and a VHS box set of The Cosby Show that's missing every very special episode. Just look around you in America. The grocery bill is climbing like a meth-fueled monkey on a satellite dish. The housing market is a Lincoln log cabin built by drunk toddlers. And your 401k is wearing sweatpants and crying while it eats SpaghettiOs straight from the can. Meanwhile, a tiny cabal of freakishly early Bitcoiners just zipped past the velvet rope because they figured out 10 years ago that 21 million is a smaller number than infinity quantitative easing. Picture Michael Saylor at Burning Man, eyes wide, chanting, "Scarcity is truth, halving cycles are cosmic breath," while he's stroking a neon orange Ledger Nano like it's Schrodinger's catnip. He's not on LSD for the trip, he's on LSD for the clarity. And he's holding court with the other Bitcoin billionaires. The top 100 wallets locking down nearly 3 million BTC like cartoon dragons sprawled on a gold hoard, occasionally tweeting, "Stay humble, stack sats," from a Gulfstream jet with a tail number reading BTC. Meanwhile, your cousin Chad spent stimulus cash on Funko Pops, your aunt refinanced the refi on her refi to buy an NFT of a sloth with a hoodie, and Congress is passing trillion-dollar budgets like a teenager smashing the buy now, pay later button for tactical patio furniture. That's why Henley and Partners counted 172,000 crypto millionaires. They didn't beat the game, they changed the cartridge while the rest of the country was busy rebooting dial-up internet. So welcome to the new caste system. At the top, the techno-psychonauts who hoarded digital scarcity. At the bottom, everyone's still comparing APR offers on a Subaru with 0 down and 72-month terms. Bitcoiners didn't cheat, they saw the free candy van coming, stole the keys, and now they rent it back to the Fed at 8% APY. Now let's get into how these wizards of asymmetric upside turned computer code into dynastic wealth, while the rest of the nation binged nostalgic sitcom reruns and argued about pumpkin spice inflation. Efficient markets? Please, the only thing efficient in 2025 America is the speed at which your paycheck turns into Kroger rotisserie chickens. Let's continue. Welcome to Paretos Party Kids, where 20% of the people hoard 80% of the snacks and the rest of the populace fights over a single stale Funyun. I want you, in your head right now, to picture the Teletubbies cast standing in a bread line. Tinky Winky's purple stomach is rumbling. Poe is hawking crypto pics on TikTok, and Lala just maxed out her Discover card buying gasoline-scented candles on Etsy, because that's what passes for an inflation hedge in Clown World. Meanwhile, the real elites right now today are sipping champagne on Trump Force One, which, by the way, still smells faintly of cheeseburger wrappers and NDAs. And they're laughing at charts that prove the top 1% own nearly half of the world's global wealth. Trump's gold-plated toilet has more GDP than several Midwestern countries, and he's live tweeting from it. Out in suburbia, your neighbors are stabbing themselves with Ozempic pens because the only thing shrinking faster than middle-class waistlines is the purchasing power of the dollar. But guess what? Weight loss drugs don't fix the fact that BlackRock just hoovered up another tranche of starter homes, and your retirement account looks like a rotting jack-o'-lantern on November 3rd. The ghost of Pareto right now is cackling told you so. The rule has never died, it just got jacked up on leverage and started live streaming. Bitcoin just slapped a second power law curve on top of the fiat one, like spray painting an eviction notice over over a condemned skyscraper. So you've got a parallel universe where a few thousand early Bitcoin hodlers sit on a digital Fort Knox while everyone else juggles buy now, pay never loans for knockoff Pelotons. So let's get real, inequality is not a glitch, it is the main quest. And if you're not stacking sats, you're basically waiting for the Teletubby sunbaby to grant you fiscal salvation. Spoiler, it's not coming. The global money game is an all-you-can-eat buffet, and Roseanne Barr just rolled in on a mobility scooter with turbo boosters. The plates are piling up, and the rest of us are left poking wilted kale while the chef whispers, "Sorry, no refills. That, my friends, is fiat scarcity." Manufactured in real time by central bankers who are playing whack-a-mole with interest rates. Then Bitcoin crashes the party, 21 million coins, hard cap, no extra ladles for Roseanne. So the only way to gorge at the buffet is to show up early before she does. Early birds become the apex predators. They front-run the buffet line. They forklift the shrimp tower into cold storage. They leave the normies to fight the Hamburglar over a single nugget of McFlation. The Pareto principle loves this stuff. It starts humming like David Bowie in a Tokyo karaoke bar. Because network effects feed on scarcity like Ziggy Stardust fed on glitter and cocaine. So each new adopter makes every existing coin more valuable, a reflexive loop. Price pumps, the media might squeal a little bit, the price pumps harder, the skeptics panic sell their kidneys, Bitcoin soars, and then the top wallets compound faster than Roseanne's calorie counter, hitting 4-digit territory. Volatility is doing all the gatekeeping because the low IQ cannot hold through the incredible ups and downs. 90% drawdown, the Hamburglar flees with his striped swag bag. The true believers double down and the Pareto principle sharpens its claws. So the takeaway, my dearest children, is that Bitcoin isn't just another asset. It is the cosmic vending machine with one slot, exact change only, and the smartest psychos figured out which combination while everyone else was binge-watching Full House reruns and missing David Bowie's last tour. So next up, we quantify exactly how many digital dragons are now sitting on piles of coin so large they make Smaug look like a broke Renaissance fair cosplayer. Grab your fedoras because we're going full Indiana Jones through the blockchain catacombs. Torch in our hands, we're brushing dust off a stone tablet that reads 28 Bitcoin billionaires. These are the guys who replaced golden idols with cold storage wallets, ducked every booby trap, and now fly around in their private jets. So behind them on our pie chart are the centi millionaires, and there's 325 of them, each hoarding enough BTC to fund Rosie O'Donnell's cheesecake budget for the next 1,000 years. Then come the 172,300 humble Bitcoin millionaires. To the untrained eye, they look normal, but check their dreams at night. Freddy Krueger shows up wearing a Bitcoin laser eyes mask. He's cackling, should have bought it $40, loser. The nightmare is missing the halving cycle that minted this new aristocracy. So if you stack all of the wallets together, the top 100 addresses control about 2.9 million BTC. That is enough digital gold to buy every seat at next year's Super Bowl and still leave tip money to Harrison Ford to reprise Indy in a PSA called Raiders of the Lost Fiat. The message is simple. The treasury has already been scooped, folks. Indiana Jones took it, Freddy Krueger guards it, and Rosie O'Donnell yells about it. And the rest of America is stuck searching couch cushions for quarters that lost 25% of their purchasing power before brunch. So when you hear pundits saying Bitcoin is still early, yeah, it kind of is if your time horizon is 40 years, but you really gotta remember this slide. Early for who, we ask, not for the dragons already curled around mountains of UTXOs. The rest of us are chasing the boulder, praying we don't end up like the guy who brought a whip to a gunfight. Let's start with a vision of peak fiat despair. You are nibbling on raccoon meat behind a Dollar Tree, savoring that authentic roadkill umami as your financial advisor FaceTimes you from his leased BMW BMW i3. He is pitching you the latest target date mutual fund with a dazzling 0.87% expense ratio. The same genius who told you diversification means equal parts S&P 500, bond fund, and vibes. He now wonders why your 60-40 portfolio looks like a dumpster fire in a hurricane. Meanwhile, you're behind Dollar Tree trying to think of one day being able to afford a family in a cardboard box. Meanwhile, the Bitcoin psychonauts cracked the matrix years ago. They understood immortal digital energy, code that lives on satellites, ocean cables, and maybe tattooed inside Michael Saylor's eyelids. They understood that Bitcoin is fundamentally different from your advisor's hot tip on mid-cap dividend aristocrats. They didn't need a morning briefing from CNBC. They needed curiosity, high conviction insanity, and a PDF of the Bitcoin white paper at 3 a.m. in their mom's basement. The data doesn't lie. IQ studies show smarter brains participate in markets sooner, they hold longer, and they avoid panic vomiting their positions the first time Bloomberg says regulatory FUD. That's why the early Bitcoin hodlers surfed 70% drawdowns like Tony Hawk on Adderall, while the average advisor was emailing, "Dear valued client, we recommend rebalancing into cash equivalents." I want you to remember this stat. Only 4% of stocks created all of the U.S. equity gains since 1926. Yes, spotting outliers is the entire game, and Bitcoin is the outlier to end all statistical anomalies. Bitcoin is the cosmic cheat code disguised as internet monopoly money. Smart lunatics recognize the asymmetric upside. They ate ramen for a decade straight, and they piled every spare nickel into hash coupons that now trade at the price of gently used kidneys. So the next time a khaki-clad planner tells you crypto is too risky, I want you to picture him grilling raccoon skewers with you in a decade, swapping stories about how y'all missed the singular chance to own scarcity in code while it was still cheaper than a Costco chicken bake. I want you to call him right now. Call your financial advisor and ask him which tastes better, roadkill or humble pie. Then politely convert your paycheck into digital immortal energy before another genius sells you a 529 plan denominated in confetti. All right, kids, tighten your tinfoil hats. We're diving into the 4 horsemen of Bitcoin concentration, those glorious hacks that keep the coin suction cupped to the smartest psychos on Earth, while the rest of the population plays Candy Crush on the toilet. Number 1 is asymmetric information. The Discord servers where ex-NSA cryptographers swap Block Explorer Alpha at 2 a.m., while CNBC is wheeling out suits who think a private key is something you hand to the valet. By the time Grandma gets her Coinbase KYC selfie approved, the whales have already mined another yacht. Number 2 is psychological resilience. Bitcoin drops 50% overnight, the normies are gonna scream, they're gonna smash the sell button, they're gonna Google best coupon codes for ramen. The OG hodlers light a cigar with an Elon Musk issued flamethrower. They whisper volatility is a feature and then buy your panic for pennies. Fear is the toll. Only lunatics with steel intestines keep driving. Number 3 is compounding and leverage. The rich don't sell, they collateralize. They walk into a crypto bank, they fling their BTC on the counter, and they stroll out with a loan denominated in your future regret. They're going to use that fiat to buy more BTC, more political influence, maybe a controlling stake in Chuck E. Cheese just for the memes. Your equity curve is a kiddie roller coaster. Theirs is a SpaceX launch. Number 4 is regulatory arbitrage. While you're filling out Form 8949 in blood, the top wallets reallocate to a tax Haven Island, where the national anthem is just a cash register cha-ching. They fund public art installations made of shredded 1040s and laugh as governments chase their shadow wallets like Scooby-Doo villains. The bottom line, the game is rigged by people who actually bothered to read the rulebook. Bitcoin did not create inequality, it just handed the cheat codes to anyone crazy enough to believe in immortal math. During a time where politicians are busy regulating plastic straws. Yes, I'm talking to you, Canada. If you want in, grow thicker skin, ditch the middlemen, and remember, every crash is a clearance sale for those who already own the store. Now let's talk about the future, because the float of Bitcoin is slimming faster than a Kardashian on an Ozempic drip. Corporations, sovereign wealth funds, and every hedge fund intern who can spell custody are locking coins away like doomsday preppers canning beans, folks. By 2030, the circulating supply will feel like Blockbuster DVDs, technically still around, but good luck finding one. So enter the spot ETFs, Wall Street's version of Shark Week, BlackRock, Fidelity, and a cabal of vampire squids just built vacuums for retail cash. They'll market it as set it and forget it digital gold. They'll charge their cute 0.25% fee, and poof, another few 100,000 BTC vanish into cold storage, colder than my ex's voicemail. Meanwhile, sovereign treasuries, think El Salvador, Texas, and whatever rogue nation is run by a TikTok influencer next year, are mining Bitcoin with flared natural gas while singing sea shanties about hard money. Each megawatt they deploy is a coin you will never touch. Congratulations, the float just went Marie Kondo. And here's the real horror flick. Remember, Bitcoin's historical CAGR still beats global GDP like Freddy Krueger beats Insomniacs. That means capital parked in immortal math compounds faster than everything from index funds to Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Wage earners, they're the extras in Mad Max Fury Fiat, bartering bathwater for gasoline while the Bitcoin elite cruise past on V12 cyber chariots. Politicians will soon hold hearings titled, "Is digital feudalism bad?" Spoiler, the only legislators who understand the code already bought the dip. Expect proposals ranging from 30% mining taxes to environmental impact stickers. None of it stops the scarcity clock, it just raises the entry fee. The top 1% aren't reading Rich Dad Poor Dad on a Kindle. They're reverse engineering Fed balance sheet footnotes on 2 monitors while the third live streams a supernova, because stochastic resonance helps them focus. They spotted Bitcoin's SHA-256 rabbit hole in 2009. With intuition laced with caffeine and mild paranoia, you can't compete with that. And then you gotta talk about resource reinvestment. The first 10-bagger that you get, that funds better data feeds. The second, you can then hire better quants. The third, you can buy an AI that audits their quants. Every victory token gets recycled into a higher tier of informational weaponry, until they're basically Michael Saylor fused with Ultron. You gotta talk about low time preference, the patience of fossilized turtles. While relatives brag about 5% savings accounts, these people lock up BTC for decades, muttering, "I'm not selling until Elon colonizes Mars." In a world chasing 10-second dopamine hits, time itself becomes alpha. Put it together and you've got an elite class treating markets like their personal Hamburglar-proof playground. They aren't evil masterminds, well, maybe a couple wear capes, but mostly they're information carnivores who swapped Netflix for node graphs and let compound interest marinate longer than a Dollar Tree raccoon roast. Moral of the story, sharpen your curiosity. Inoculate your amygdala against the CNBC ticker hysteria. And remember, the best assets gravitate toward the brains running the most RAM. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Adam Livingston, and I am the Bitcoin Wizard. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I will see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Class dismissed.